Hi team, thank you for taking the time to meet with me today to discuss the current risks affecting Bounce Fitness. How are you today, Dean and Alice?
Not a problem. I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, Dean. How are you, Alice?
Good, thanks, Isaac.
Good to hear, guys. Today I'd like to present to you the current risks that Bounce Fitness's human resource department is currently facing. 3 current business risks that I've noticed are inadequate staff training, inconsistent performance by trainers, and poor lack of communication. I really think we need to fix these current risks and come up with risk management solutions to correct these risks. Due to these risks, we have seen a large increase in customer complaints, which has also resulted in a reduction of active members at the gym. This is a major concern for the business moving forward.
I agree with you, Isaac. It's very obvious to see that there's some elements that we need to adjust and some precautions we need to take to put a stop to these risks. It is very concerning seeing the number of active members fall and also hearing about the number of complaints we receive.
I do agree it is very concerning seeing this unfold. However, I tried my best to manage trainers rocking up late.
I understand, Alice, but we need to better manage these risks. I have come up with 2 risk management processes which I feel will help us manage and mitigate. The first risk management process I have come up with is performance evaluation risk assessment. The second process is a member satisfaction assessment. I believe these 2 processes are perfect for correcting the current risks that have been identified. Following on from this, there's 2 outcomes I wish to achieve. These outcomes are better engagement and performance from our staff, and to retain our members and reputation through satisfying their wants and needs in the gym. As said before, the 3 risks related to performance management are inadequate staff training, poor performance from our trainers, poor lack of communication. I wanted to consult with you guys and have a constructive discussion about the risks that have been identified. What are your thoughts?
Isaac, you've hit the nail on the head. The current risks that you have identified are very concerning and are having a huge impact on the gym. I do believe that our staff aren't really engaged in their roles. It could be a cultural thing at Bounce Fitness.
I don't think it's necessarily a cultural thing, Dan. I just think that our staff are too relaxed. I think we need to start holding them to account.
I agree, Isaac, but I do truly believe it's the fact that they're just thrust into their roles and not given enough guidance and training in specific areas, such as knowing their tasks and customer service. I do also agree with the underperformance of our trainers, with them turning up late and their lack of communication. I do really think if this isn't fixed soon, we are going to start losing a lot of members and the gym will really struggle.
Definitely agree with you, Dane. Alice, what are your thoughts on this situation?
Look, Isaac, I get the lack of performance within the staff and I get the trainers not turning up on time, but the lack of communication isn't entirely their fault. I think the audio system needs to be fixed so that our members who train online can hear them better. But as I said, I don't think it's entirely their fault.
I agree with the audio, Alice, but at the same time, the communication with us about class times and reasons for being late is setting a poor example as a company, and better standards need to be adopted. I need you guys to understand how serious this is and the ramifications it could have if it's not corrected.
I agree, Isaac.
I understand and I also agree with you, Isaac.
Thank you, guys. What are your thoughts on the 2 control measures I've suggested?
I think the measures you've put in place will actually work really well. I think that the performance evaluation will ensure that staff and trainers are kept honest and held accountable for any misconduct. I think that the member evaluation will really help us improve our product and quality assurance standards.
Thank you for the feedback, Dean. What do you think, Alice?
I have to agree with Dean personally. I like the idea of both measure and I really think that they will ensure that everything improves in terms of standards and performance from all trainers and staff.
That's great. As I said before, the two outcomes I wish to achieve are better engagement and performance from our members and reputation through satisfying their wants and needs. What do you guys reckon?
I think they're both great outcomes to aspire to achieving. I think we just need to get on top of these risks and correct them as soon as possible.
I agree, Alice. I really see Bounce Fitness as a great gym, and I really hope that we can revive its reputation and get it back to being one of, if not the best gyms in Brisbane for all members and guests to enjoy.
So do we agree that the three risks that apply to performance management could have severe consequences?
Yeah, definitely. I do agree that they are things we need to get control of in order to manage the gym more effectively.
Yes, as you said, if we don't manage these risks, it could have serious consequences.
That's great. So lastly, I'd like to discuss the risk management processes, how the risk management processes will work. So with the performance evaluation, we'll look to determine the objectives. For example, the staff and trainers meeting their KPIs. From that, we will look to identify underperformance that could contribute to a risk. Then we look at mitigation techniques and implementing control measures to soften the risks and get them under control. Then look to monitor and review for continuous improvement.
I like it. Could I suggest that we call a meeting with all staff and trainers so that everyone's aware of what's going on and what's to be expected?
I think that's a good idea, Dean. I think we should organise and schedule it in for next week on Tuesday, the 18th of May.
Sounds like a plan, Isaac. I like the structure of it. I think ensuring that staff and trainers meet their KPIs is an awesome way of determining whether their performance is optimal.
Thanks, guys. Lastly, the process I'd like to use for the members' satisfaction is create a survey for all members to help determine what works well and what could be improved. By finding out what we can improve, we can mitigate all risks associated by making small adjustments and improvements, as well as continuous evaluation. What do you reckon? I'd like to implement these risk management processes on the 21st of May.
I reckon you've done very well, Isaac. I hope the changes we implement can reshape the experience of all our members and create a friendly environment for exercise. Could I suggest that we implement a survey for the trainers and staff too, just so we could get their feedback on what they think could work better for the gym?
We certainly can. I think getting an understanding of their thoughts could also aid us in correcting some of the current issues we're facing with them.
Well done, Isaac. You've done great.
Thanks, guys. So to quickly summarise, we went over the problems the gym's facing. We discussed the three current risks associated with performance management in regards to our staff. We openly reached consensus on these risks and came up with two outcomes we wish to achieve, as well as two risk management processes. Are we all happy with everything discussed?
Sure am, Isaac.
Yes, very happy.
Thanks, guys. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for attending, Dean and Alice. I really appreciate your time and your input. As you both know, the gym is very important to our CEO, and she's given us the responsibility to ensure everything runs smoothly. If we can correct these risks, I think we'll do great and enhance the gym's reputation.
Cheers, Isaac. Thanks for involving us. We'll do everything we can to assist in managing these risks.
Thanks, Isaac. As Dean said, we'll get to work right away. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Much appreciated and enjoy your afternoons.